By the end of this video, you've learned why comfort is the most expensive trap, how discipline and patience build real wealth, and today, you can start making choices your future self will thank you for. I am 54 years old as I speak these words, and I have spent more than 3 decades watching how money quietly shapes lives, not in dramatic moments, but in ordinary daily choices. I have seen people far more intelligent than me struggle financially, and I have seen very average earners build lasting wealth. The difference was almost never luck, education, or talent. It was comfort. Over time, I've come to believe that comfort is the most expensive addiction a person can have because it costs you slowly, invisibly, and with your full cooperation. When you are young, comfort feels harmless. A slightly better car, a nicer phone, a larger house than you need, eating out instead of cooking, upgrading because you can, not because you should. None of these choices feel dangerous on their own. In fact, they feel like progress. But money does not judge single decisions. Money only responds to patterns repeated over years. Comfort works the same way addiction does. It starts small, feels deserved, and gradually requires more to feel the same satisfaction. By the time you realize it's controlling you, decades have passed. When people think about financial failure, they imagine dramatic mistakes, losing everything in a bad investment, a business collapsing overnight, or a sudden crisis. After decades of observation, I can say with confidence that this is rarely how wealth is destroyed. Wealth is most often lost quietly, through comfort that feels harmless and justified at every step. Comfort does not announce itself as danger. It presents itself as reward, as progress, as something you have earned. That is why it is so powerful and so costly. Comfort begins with small choices. You earn a little more, so you spend a little more. You upgrade not because your old life stopped working, but because a better option is available. A slightly larger home, a newer car, subscriptions you barely notice, conveniences that save minutes but cost years. None of these decisions feel irresponsible. In isolation, they are reasonable. But money does not operate in isolation. Money responds to habits repeated over long periods of time. Comfort becomes expensive not in 1 year, but over 20 or 30. The real danger is that comfort adjusts your sense of normal. What once felt like a luxury soon feels like a necessity. Your expenses harden, your flexibility shrinks, and your future income quietly gets pre-assigned to maintaining a lifestyle rather than building security. At that point, you are no longer using money as a tool, you are serving it. Many people earning strong incomes feel constant pressure not because they lack money, but because comfort has raised the minimum amount they need just to stand still. This is where compounding works against people instead of for them. Just as savings grow when left untouched, spending habits also compound when repeated. A decision to delay saving by a few years in favor of comfort costs far more than people realize. Money not invested early loses decades of growth. Inflation then adds another silent tax, making future needs more expensive, while past comforts leave nothing behind. Comfort consumes both money and time is the one resource that cannot be replenished. People often say they will get discipline later, when they earn more, or when life settles down. Later rarely comes. Comfort makes discipline harder because it increases dependency. Once your life is built around ease, reducing it feels like loss, even if it leads to freedom. That emotional resistance keeps people trapped in patterns they know are risky but feel familiar. True wealth is not built by denying yourself everything. It is built by understanding the cost of ease and choosing intentionally. Resisting unnecessary comfort is not about punishment. It is about preserving options. When your expenses are low and your habits disciplined, you gain resilience, you gain the ability to absorb shocks, to make choices without panic, and to let time work in your favor. In the end, comfort is expensive because it charges interest on the future. Discipline may feel uncomfortable at first, but it pays dividends for decades. Those dividends arrive quietly, as peace, flexibility, and control, and those are the forms of wealth that never lose value. Most people believe they will recognize success when they feel comfortable, when life becomes easier, when they can afford more, when inconvenience disappears. They assume they have arrived. After years of watching how money actually behaves in real lives, I have learned that this belief is one of the most damaging misunderstandings in personal finance. Comfort feels like success, but it often hides financial fragility beneath a smooth surface. Comfort gives immediate feedback. A bigger home feels safer, a newer car feels reliable, eating out feels like freedom from effort. These experiences create the impression that money is working for you. But true success in money is not measured by how smooth today feels. It is measured by how resilient tomorrow will be. Many people living very comfortable lives are one unexpected event away from serious trouble because their comfort depends on constant income and stable conditions. The illusion comes from visibility. Comfort is easy to see. Security is quiet. A person can look successful while carrying heavy debt, high fixed expenses, and little margin for error. Another person can appear modest while holding years of savings, low obligations, and the freedom to walk away from bad situations. Society praises the first and ignores the second, which trains people to chase appearances instead of stability. The danger is not enjoying money. The danger is letting ease become the definition of progress. When income rises, people feel pressure to show it. Expenses grow automatically, not because needs have changed, but because expectations have. Over time, the financial floor rises higher and higher. What once felt like abundance becomes the new minimum. At that point, comfort stops being enjoyable and starts being mandatory. Real success feels different. It does not announce itself. It shows up as calm decision-making. It shows up as the ability to say no without fear. It shows up as time, flexibility, and low stress. These things are not exciting, but they are powerful. They allow you to think long-term instead of reacting to short-term pressures. Inflation makes this misunderstanding even more costly. A comfortable lifestyle today becomes an expensive one tomorrow. Prices rise quietly while income growth often slows later in life. Those who built their sense of success on ease discover too late that ease requires constant maintenance. Those who built success on restraint and margin find that time works in their favor. People often ask why high earners still feel trapped. The answer is almost always that they mistook comfort for success. They upgraded their lives faster than they built resilience. They won the appearance of success but lost control. Money should reduce anxiety over time, not increase it. If your income grows but your worry grows with it, comfort has replaced security. True financial success is boring by design. It prioritizes stability over status, margin over appearance, and future peace over pleasure. Comfort can be enjoyed, but only when it rests on a foundation of discipline. When comfort comes first, it creates dependency. When security comes first, comfort becomes optional. The greatest shift a person can make is redefining success not as how good life feels today, but as how well prepared they are for change. That definition does not change with age, trends, or economic cycles. It rewards patience, punishes excess, and quietly protects those who understand it. One of the most painful lessons I have learned over the years is that income is often given too much credit and discipline too little. People assume that earning more money will automatically solve their financial problems. Yet I have watched high earners struggle far more than modest earners who lived with intention. The real threat to long-term wealth is not how little you make, but how quickly your spending rises to meet whatever you earn. Lifestyle inflation happens quietly. A raise arrives, and with it comes a sense of permission. You tell yourself that you can now afford better. The old habits are not wrong anymore, they are outdated. What begins as an occasional upgrade becomes a permanent increase in monthly expenses. The danger is not the purchase itself, but the fact that it repeats every time income rises. Over time, the gap between what you earn and what you keep never grows. I have seen people earning modest incomes save consistently for decades and retire with stability, while others earning several times more reach midlife with nothing but obligations. The difference was not intelligence or opportunity, it was restraint. The disciplined saver understood that income is temporary but habits are lasting. The high earner assumed that money would always be there and allowed spending to harden into commitments. Fixed expenses are where lifestyle inflation becomes dangerous. A bigger home, a more expensive car, or recurring services do not adjust downward easily. When income slows, those costs remain. This is how people become trapped by lifestyles they once felt proud of. What once symbolized success turns into a source of pressure. The stress is not caused by lack of money, but by lack of flexibility. Saving from a modest income builds strength in a way that high income without discipline never can. When someone learns to live below their means early, they develop control. Control allows compounding to work properly. Even small amounts invested consistently over long periods grow far more than large amounts invested late or irregularly. Time favors those who start early, not those who earn the most. Inflation further exposes the weakness of lifestyle inflation. As prices rise, the cost of maintaining an upgraded life increases, while the emotional satisfaction from those upgrades fades. Meanwhile, money that was never saved has no chance to grow. The person who resisted upgrades may not look impressive, but they have something far more valuable: margin. People often wait for a future version of themselves to become disciplined. They promise to save later once income is higher or life is easier. Later becomes the most expensive word in finance. Discipline delayed is opportunity lost. Money that is spent today cannot compound tomorrow, and no future income can buy back lost time. True financial progress is not measured by how high your income climbs, but by how much control you retain as it does. A modest life with growing savings creates options. A high-income life with rising expenses creates dependence. One leads to freedom, the other leads to pressure. Over the long run, discipline will always outperform income because discipline works with time, and time is the most powerful force money has. Over many years, watching people make financial choices, I have noticed a pattern that rarely fails. The decisions that strengthen a person's future almost always feel uncomfortable when they are first made, while the decisions that weaken it usually feel good in the moment. This is why so many intelligent and well-intentioned people struggle with money. Human beings are wired to respond to immediate comfort, not distant consequences, and money quietly exploits that weakness. When you choose to save instead of spend, nothing exciting happens. There is no visible reward, no emotional rush. When you choose not to upgrade your lifestyle, even though you can afford to, you may feel left behind or deprived. These feelings are temporary, but they are strong enough to push people toward choices that deliver instant satisfaction. Buying, upgrading, and consuming all provide immediate relief. They make today easier. Unfortunately, money does not care how a decision feels today. It only records what that decision does over time. Bad financial decisions often disguise themselves as reasonable rewards. You tell yourself that you worked hard, that you deserve comfort now, that you can always adjust later. Each individual choice seems harmless, even logical. The problem is repetition. When comfort becomes the default response to income or stress, it creates a pattern that slowly erodes future security. By the time the consequences appear, the habit is deeply ingrained. Good financial decisions demand patience. Choosing to live below your means requires accepting short-term discomfort for long-term stability. Paying yourself first, investing consistently, and avoiding unnecessary debt all require saying no when saying yes would feel better. These choices do not make life exciting, but they make it resilient. They allow time and compounding to do their quiet work in the background. The contrast becomes clear later in life. Those who consistently chose comfort experience growing pressure as responsibilities increase and income growth slows. Those who chose discipline experience relief as their obligations shrink and their assets grow. The irony is that discipline eventually creates more comfort than comfort ever could. It just delivers it later when it matters more. Inflation amplifies this effect. Money spent today is gone forever, while money saved and invested grows in both size and usefulness. As prices rise, the cost of past comfort becomes more painful. The person who delayed gratification has assets that adjust with time. The person who chased immediate pleasure has memories that cannot pay future bills. People often ask how to know if a financial decision is good or bad. The answer is simple but not easy. Good decisions usually require you to tolerate discomfort, delay pleasure, and think in decades rather than months. Bad decisions usually offer relief, convenience, or status right now. One builds independence, the other builds dependence. Over the long run, money rewards those who can sit with temporary discomfort. The ability to endure small sacrifices today determines whether life becomes easier or harder tomorrow. Comfort promises ease without effort. Discipline demands effort before ease. Time ensures that only one of those promises is kept. After many years of observing how people relate to money, I have come to a quiet conclusion that often surprises them. Luxury is not what keeps people safe. Discipline does. Real financial security is not created by owning impressive things or living an easy life. It is created by structure, restraint, and habits that protect you when conditions change. Comfort can disappear quickly. Discipline stays. Luxury depends on constant support. It requires steady income, stable markets, and predictable circumstances. When any of those weaken, luxury becomes a burden instead of a benefit. I have seen people with beautiful homes, expensive cars, and high incomes feel constant anxiety because everything they owned required maintenance. Their lives looked successful, yet one interruption could unravel it all. That is not security, that is exposure. Discipline, on the other hand, reduces dependency. Low fixed expenses, controlled spending, and consistent saving create room to breathe. This room is not glamorous, but it is powerful. It allows you to make decisions calmly instead of reactively. When income drops or inflation rises, disciplined people adjust without panic because their lives are not built at the edge of their means. Real security is closely tied to compounding. Small, disciplined actions repeated over long periods quietly grow into strength. Saving a portion of income every month, avoiding unnecessary debt, and investing patiently may feel slow, but time multiplies their effect. What looks insignificant in the early years becomes meaningful later. Luxury produces no such growth. Once consumed, it is gone. Inflation is the great test of discipline. Prices rise whether you are prepared or not. Those who structured their lives around comfort feel the squeeze first because their expenses have no flexibility. Those who prioritize discipline experience inflation differently. Their assets grow, their obligations remain manageable, and their choices remain intact. Security is not about avoiding change. It is about being built for it. Many people believe security will come once they reach a certain income level. That belief keeps them chasing more while never feeling settled. In reality, security comes from the gap between what you earn and what you need. Discipline widens that gap. Luxury narrows it. The wider the gap, the less control outside forces have over your life. There is a quiet confidence that comes with discipline. It is not visible, but it is deeply felt. It shows up as the ability to walk away from bad situations, to endure uncertainty without fear, and to think clearly when others are stressed. This confidence cannot be bought. It is built over years of choosing stability over excess. In the end, luxury decorates life, but discipline protects it. One impresses others, the other safeguards you. Time rewards discipline because it compounds, adapts, and endures. Comfort fades, trends change, and circumstances shift. Discipline remains useful in every environment. That is why it is the true foundation of financial security, and why those who understand it rarely regret the path they chose.